I've been drinking too much wine. Take this veil from off my heavy eyes. All these
Now, this album should be listened to in order from track 1 to 25, as it tells a story from beginning to end and tells a story both personal and universal. These are the words of platinum-selling singer and producer Daniel Barron, describing his career-defining new fourth studio album, City of God and the Jungle Below. Barron joins us now via Zoom to tell us more about his 25 new track project, which is set in a fictional post-apocalyptic world. Daniel, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you on the show, Daniel. First of all, how would you sum up the past couple of months in relation to your music and the pandemic?
It's been a busy couple of months. I'm very busy producing music for numerous other artists in the country, and at the same time, it's been really rewarding to finally release an album of my own, which I've just completed, obviously, and it's been a long process of working on this album. It's taken about 5 years, so yeah. It's been a busy time, and it's been exciting as well.
You say it's been rewarding finally coming up with your own project, but what lessons came with that period and how did it change you artistically?
I think it's really been it's been rewarding, and it's changed me because an album like this of this magnitude has really helped me look at myself and look at what I've learned, especially over these past 2 years of isolation. But also, my life has changed a great deal. I've recently got married. I've got a son as well. So those are beautiful things that I've incorporated in the album as well. And I think these times that the world goes through in times of crisis helps us to look at each other, look at ourselves, look at our lives, and see what's actually really important. So yes. That's what this album's about to me as well.
Yeah. Now speak to us about your new baby, City of God and the Jungle Below. I mean, what is it about, and what really inspired this album?
This album is really a journey, and it's a story about my life so far, but at the same time, it's a story that's bigger than just me. It's a story about what basically the human race goes through when we go through journeys of heartbreak or pain or lessons learned. You come out of it and you learn about hope and faith, and then you find love, and it's basically a story about life. And it's almost the way I see it, it's a bit of a handbook or a map of the things we go through in life, and aiming to finally reach the city of God or some kind of enlightenment is the human race's goal. And I think that's basically what I wanted to get across here. So it's something special, and I think it's something really inspiring as well, which I hope for people to get out of it.
And 25 tracks in one album, sure, that's a lot of work and a whole lot of music. I mean, it seems that you put your all in this particular project. What really inspired you and gave you the push to squeeze all 25 tracks in one album?
I really did work hard on this, and I think the reason that I included this amount of tracks is basically, I'm an independent artist, and I don't have, a director of, creative director saying, no, Daniel, keep it to 10 tracks.
Okay.
This is a movie to me. It's a movie in my mind. So I wanted to make it like that. It's almost like a series
yes.
where you watch episode after episode. So those 25 songs really do tell a story, and it was a lot of work, but I think it's been worth it, yeah.
And the project set in a fictional post-apocalyptic world. What does this entail, Daniel, and why the decision to head in this direction?
So I'm really fascinated about that sort of, those sort of things. I enjoy watching those kind of movies and stuff. But I think more importantly, we as a world have just gone through something and are going through a crisis that kind of feels like a change in time, almost I wouldn't say apocalyptic, but sometimes, we feel like we're in a movie. Sometimes
Yes.
it doesn't feel real. And that's what inspired me to do an album like this. But the main reason that I chose this is, as I said, it forces when the human race goes through something like this, it forces us to relook at our lives. And I think the lessons learned and where we realize that the material stuff in our lives is actually meaningless. It's family, it's love, it's friendships. Those are the things that count. And that's what I think this album really does get across.
Daniel, you are quoted as having said that this is the greatest body of work that you have ever created and possibly the greatest that you will ever create. I mean, what do you mean by this? Because one may be tempted to think that this is a once and for all project. Given the amount of work that you've put in.
Yeah, that's true. Because I've worked on this project for so long, it really does feel like my life's work so far, because
Yes.
I've put in songs into this album that are over 10 years old, songs that I wrote a long time ago. And if I look at my life and my career now, I'd say that I'd love for this album to be my legacy. It really does feel like my Mona Lisa, in a matter of speaking. Look, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going, and I'll probably start on the next project tomorrow. But this album is really special to me, and I do believe it will inspire. And I've already been receiving messages from fans and people across a long way away have been saying, that this album has helped them, and
Yes.
it's inspired them.
Let's talk about the themes and the subject that you address in this album, and how many of those themes were personal to you.
So what I've done is I've broken this album up into different chapters.
Okay.
And these chapters the chapters start off with going through pain and heartbreak. Then the next chapter is basically finding faith and finding one's faith again. And then it goes from faith to then finding hope. And then finally finding love. And from that then enables us to access that transcendence to the city of God. And it's basically each kind of song that's broken into each chapter is molded into those different themes. There's something for everyone on this album. There's from some house dance to hip hop to quite a wide range of different kinds of musical sounds, and that's really testament to my appreciation of all kinds of music, from the sounds of our African continent to different sounds I've grown up listening to. So that's another thing why I wanted to include so many tracks on this album. It's really quite a universal kind of sound, and yeah, as I said, there's something that everyone will enjoy on this album.
Yeah, sure. And finding faith and finding love surely is something that we could learn from this album. So what did working on this project teach you about your own self and as an artist, and about your musical journey in its entirety?
The first thing that this album did teach me is that I'm a perfectionist, and
Yes.
I think I didn't want to let this album go until I was 100% happy with
Sure.
it. So I've been working on it, perfecting this thing for a long time. But then the other thing I learned is that, this album is not just about me. Yes, I've told these stories, but I realized that our life that we live is not just about our selfish, thoughts or aspirations, but it's bigger than that. It's about how
Right.
we can, by helping others and living for others is the reason why we are here. And that's what the greatest thing I learned about creating this.
All right, Daniel, lovely chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.
All right, that was platinum-selling singer and producer Daniel Barron speaking to us about his career-defining new fourth studio album, City of God and the Jungle Below, which is set in a fictional post-apocalyptic world.